Okay, hey, good morning, everyone. So here we are in the backyard. I've got this podium youth thrown here. And what I want to talk about is kind of a variation on how to do yard work that I think will be beneficial for you at the respiratory level and at the postural level. So here's what it is. You take a drink of water, take a big drink of water, but don't swallow it. Let it stay in your mouth while you're exercising. And our exercise this morning is going to be raking up some of the leaves for 10 minutes, making some soil for 5 or 10 minutes, and then swallowing. That's when you swallow. Now, what have I put in here? These are trace mineral drops. A lot of times, water bottles, especially if it's purified by reverse osmosis, and not, if it doesn't have the minerals re-added, then it's inevitable that your body's going to need some supplementation of that for your health, right? So, I just put a couple drops in here. You don't need much. Mm. 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 Okay, so during that entire process, I was breathing through my nose. Because I had the water in my mouth, that filled up that space, so as the air came in, it went straight down from the nasal cavity, which is the highest point in the body, straight down into my lungs. None of it filled the vacuum of my mouth. Does that make sense? If you're trying to maximize the internal force that you can create to expand and elevate, then it needs to be a part of your exercise regimen. There's open mouth training, there's closed mouth training, there's water in your mouth training. Each of these need to be in some ratio as you progress through as an athlete, or as you progress through anything, honestly. So, what's the new approach to raking leaves, right? It seems simple, but in actuality, it incorporates many of these same principles. So what I'm going to do is try to stay in balance between stretching forward to rake and then elevating to make the next rake. Maybe you rake twice, and it's on that second rake stroke that you do this flipping. And I'll try to look up. as you make that stroke, if you do so, what's going to happen is you're going to be in more balance, which means that the muscles that you're overusing in an asymmetrical way will have a slightly longer period of time in which they can be used more intensely, because the counteractive muscles are also being activated. I don't need to do 10 reps on my biceps and then 10 reps on my triceps. That idea of muscular balance conforms to the idea of postural balance, because our postures, it's just our skeletal muscular system. So here's the drink, and I'll show you that technique. Okay, so as I was doing it, I wasn't breathing completely. But I think that slow, methodical breathing, and there's a lot of research to support this, is superior to shallow, fast breathing. Why? Because it's more completely fulfilling. You are inspired, inspire, with the Holy Ghost, with the chi, with the prana, with the great spirit that's invisible, but yet is so necessary. That you can't help but feel good about a little bit of progress. You've built a little bit of soil. You've made something more aesthetically pleasing. You've consolidated what's going to become compost, what's going to go into the compost piles, which is adding fertility. You're adding fertility to your own little plot of land. However big, however small it may be, you're adding fertility. When you add fertility, that's adding value. Because what is our land if not the capacity and its potential for producing things that can be consumed, habitats for other life, area that doesn't require the usage of electricity or petroleum to manage it. We're trying to make our lives as efficient as possible, and that process requires a little bit of effort. It's not something that you do and then you don't maintain it. Any gardener knows that. If you don't attend to your environment, it will become oppressive. It will become a source of stress and a source of depression and the loss of self-esteem because you're not doing what you know you need to do. And that's another benefit of this. If you're able to, just on a daily basis, meditate for a couple minutes, do a little bit of the work that you know you need to do, but yet is hard for you to summon the will and the energy to take on. So I hope this has been a little bit helpful. The key principles, of course, are balance, muscular balance, skeletal balance, contractionary balance with relaxational balance, and I think this is the future. This is the future of politics. It's the future of all forms of American life, all forms of global life. If you live in the country, you can transition into a permaculture setup. We need to have government incentives motivating more people to do so, and we need to make that more and more of a thing to which people are aware, of which people are aware. So thank you very much for watching. Again, my name's Evan Dunn with Youthrones, and this is just a Youthrones permaculture project. Maybe that's a new business. Thank you.